I want to bring in Shelly Palmer. He's the CEO of the Palmer Group and the author of Blockchain, Cryptocurrency, NFTs and Smart Contracts. Good to have you, sir. I know you'll keep a keen eye on what's going on in Pennsylvania today. That's the big AI summit. The Trump administration sort of lumps AI and crypto together, and it's a big crypto week, as I have suggested. These bills considered a major win for the industry. Just break down what we know about how this legislation might impact the crypto industry and whether, in your mind, or to your mind, these are a good thing.
Well, let's break them down. Good thing or bad thing, that's in the eyes of the beholder. I think it's a good thing, but other people may not. Let's take these in a backwards order. CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. This is the ability of a central bank from a country to issue a currency that is basically the country's surveillance mechanism. If you were to own a CBDC, the government would have a very keen understanding of your finances. And people were afraid of that. And people talked about having the United States issue CBDCs. A while ago, this act would prohibit that, which I think makes everybody a lot calmer that we're not going to have a government currency and the government's not going to be in your checkbook. The Clarity Act is very important in that it's going to help us understand who regulates what. What is the SEC's domain and what is the CFTC's domain? Because we want to make sure as investors who's going to regulate and what class of token and what class of currency is going to be regulated and by whom. And then the Genius Act, I think may be one of the most important in that it's going to lay the playing field, if you will, for crypto to simplify this as best as I can. It's going to lay the groundwork for crypto to become as powerful an investment vehicle as it is going to be allowed to become. Now, why is it at 120,000 yesterday and 117,000 today, which is up quite a few points from a few weeks ago? It was bubbling around 100,000 for the longest time. Supply and demand. I mean, look, a lot of money's gone institutionally into ETFs and what have you, but there are only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoins. There are some people who are looking at the macroeconomic reality and saying, Bitcoin may be like, and I hate this phrase, digital gold. I think I'm going to go put my money there because it'll be safer. I'm not a believer in that theory, but look, the proof is in the price of the Bitcoin. When I say there's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoins, there are about 19.96-ish million Bitcoins that have been created, leaving about a million and change, 1.04 million Bitcoins left to be created in the world over the next few years. And so this is going to, and it gets harder, as you know, those of you who follow Bitcoin, it gets harder every time at a protracted, a very specific time interval, the amount of Bitcoin rewards for the mining function halves. And so it gets more expensive and more difficult to mine each additional Bitcoin over time. So it's a scarce resource, and scarce resources are, priced in supply and demand.
Got it. So this is a wider sort of look at the industry rather than just Bitcoin, which most people know about. It's about stable coins and about what how the private sort of crypto industry will go mainstream effectively. The crypto industry really bankrolled Trump and the Republicans in 2024, at least to the tune of $245 million. But that's no small change, and it's likely to have been a lot higher than that. That was just what was declared. Critics call these bills a giveaway to the crypto industry. This is an industry which the whole point of this industry was it would not get regulated to a degree. Do you buy that argument? This is this is payback time at this point.
It's really funny that you frame it that way, and there's a lot of different ways to look at this. The Genius Act, which lays out how stable coins will be regulated, is very important. A stable coin should allow you to translate one kind of cryptocurrency into a US dollar or some other fiat currency. So in the case of the US dollar, you want to make sure that if you're buying a stable coin that's pegged to the US dollar, that there's really a dollar behind it. And this does allow you to go from a crypto market to a regular financial market. The Genius Act lays the groundwork for us to actually do business. Is the crypto industry getting, in quotes, paid back for their campaign contributions? You'd have to ask a political expert about that. That's not my field of expertise. What is my field of expertise, though, is the way that these markets are going to function well regulated. And when I say it's funny, you mentioned the regulation. It shouldn't need regulation. The whole point of cryptocurrency was to get the man out of your life. Bitcoin is born in 2008 out of the financial crisis. And the goal here is to remove all financial intermediaries and to give you an opportunity to transact one-to-one in a trustless world. And what I mean by trustless is you don't know the person on the other side. Right. You don't know who they are or what they are. And you're able to do a transaction that you feel is safe. And then there's no intermediary. You're not paying $35 for a wire transfer or doing a letter of credit or using a merchant bank. So that was the definition of unregulated commerce. And here we are requiring regulation to do it. So it's a little funny.
Right. Yeah, it does. It seems quite ironic, doesn't it? Look, very, very briefly, this AI summit in Pennsylvania today, the Trump administration sort of lumped together AI and its investment and investments in artificial intelligence with this sort of new world of digital assets. What do you make of what we are, what's building in Pennsylvania, and how that fits into the kind of wider Trump AI crypto strategy?
So look, I think it is obvious that the legislators are just thinking about innovation writ large. I don't think they're making a lot of delineations. What's happening in Pennsylvania is critically important. AI is a national security issue. We are in an absolute arms race worldwide for dominance in AI. We are doing extremely well as a country. The hotbed of AI is San Francisco, but I have to tell you, China's doing great. Being a great mathematician is not limited to learning your math in the United States and or working here. So, yeah, I think Washington is wise to spend time and energy here, where you got to applaud what's going on, the investment that's being made, and more investment will have to be made. This is an incredibly expensive and important set of technologies. Lumping crypto in, I don't know whether that's smart or not smart, but ultimately, because they really are unrelated in every way, crypto and AI don't have much to do with one another. But what is important is that big investments, I should say, other than the compute clouds, which are very similar to compute Bitcoin and to compute AI, are the actual hardware is very similar. But other than that, they really are unrelated. So look, let's applaud the Trump administration where they need to be applauded. These investments need to be made. And I'm very happy that the U.S. government is so pro-technology right now, because we've never needed a country, an overarching legislative agenda to be pro-technology than right now. It just needs to be that way.
Good to have you, Shelly. Always a pleasure. Thank you. And we will be right back.